it just seemed like she was going to really look to impeach Bush and get him out of office, which personally I think would have been a wonderful thing.
Impeaching him?
Absolutely, for the war.
On Twitter, CNN host Wolf Blitzer shared a old clip from 2008 of Donald Trump discussing how he thought Nancy Pelosi was too easy on George Bush and that she should have pushed for impeachment. Now, what's funny about this, as I'm going to show you, is that Trump's actually correct. He's right about this. But it's funny how people just completely morph into other people when, I mean, Donald Trump is completely obsessed with his own ego, with being popular with his weird base of supporters, I guess is the nicest way to phrase it. That, like, it's weird that the Trump that you see now is the same man that we're going to see from back in 2008. So check this out.
Nancy Pelosi, the speaker?
Well, you know, when she first got in and was named speaker, I met her, and I'm very impressed by her. I think she's a very impressive person. I like her a lot. But I was surprised that she didn't do more in terms of Bush and going after Bush. It just seemed like she was going to really look to impeach Bush and get him out of office, which personally I think would have been a wonderful thing.
Impeaching him?
Absolutely, for the war. For the war.
Because of the conduct of the
war. Well, he
war.
lied. He got us into the war with lies. And, I mean, look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant. And they tried to impeach him, which was nonsense. And yet Bush got us into this horrible war with lies, by lying, by saying they had weapons of mass destruction, by saying all sorts of things that turned out not to be true.
Like, he's right. 2008 Donald Trump is correct on this issue. Where did this guy go? Like, his brain has totally rotten. I mean, this is not the same person. I mean, it's funny. In 2016, he had made, negative comments about George Bush, and the base loved him for it. Like, because he was speaking his mind. And here he's speaking his mind, and he's correct. Bill Clinton was impeached over a lot less, and George Bush wasn't impeached over lying Americans into an illegal war. Now, this clip goes together with another clip I recently covered, but I want to share this again because it was so crazy when this went out. So this is, I think, last weekend, where Nancy Pelosi admits that she knew Bush lied Americans into an illegal war in Iraq, and she didn't think that was impeachable. Watch this crap.
So, Speaker Pelosi, you resisted calls for the impeachment of President Bush in 2006 and President Trump following the Mueller report earlier this year. This time is different. Why did you oppose impeachment in the past? And what is your obligation to protect our democracy from the actions of our president now?
Thank you. Thank you for bringing up the question about, because when I became Speaker the first time, there was overwhelming call for me to impeach President Bush on the strength of the war in Iraq, which I vehemently opposed. And again, I said at other places, that was my wheelhouse. I was intelligence. I was the ranking member on the Intelligence Committee, even before I became part of the leadership of Gang of Four. So I knew there were no nuclear weapons in Iraq. It just wasn't there. They had to show us, they had to show the Gang of Four all the intelligence they had. The intelligence did not show that that was the case. So I knew it was a misrepresentation to the public. But having said that, it was in my view, not a ground for impeachment. They won the election, they made a representation, and to this day, people think that that it was the right thing to do.
Like, she's so disconnected from reality. Now, I know I already actually have a video on this video, so I don't need to go into the whole thing again. But to not understand that lying Americans into an illegal war in Iraq that cost the lives of, estimates between like 200,000 and 1 million people. I saw an estimate from a university that looked at numbers from Iraq, Canada, and the U.S. They all were doing like the same kind of study looking into this. About 500,000 deaths from the Iraq War. A lot of those obviously civilians. That not impeachable? Like, it's stupid. And at the same time, like, this shouldn't take away from Trump's impeachment, because what Trump did, in addition to everything else he did that isn't part of the articles of impeachment, Trump is definitely impeachable. Like, what they're impeaching him on is definitely impeachable, as are the other things that they are not getting him on, like the financial crimes, the hush money payments, the kids in cages at the border, violations of the emoluments clause. I mean, go on and on and on. There is a lot to impeach Trump over that they could have added to these 2 articles of impeachment. But, like, you wonder if Donald Trump lied Americans into an illegal war, if they would have pushed to impeach him. Because apparently that doesn't matter to Nancy Pelosi. It's unbelievable. But seeing Trump back then support the impeachment of George Bush, it just shows you how, what can happen really in 10 years.